Hi everybody, I'm Nick.
And I'm Jeffrey.
And welcome to another episode of Unwind, Rewind, a podcast where we invite you to sit back and relax as we go over this week's news that matters the most to yous. That news being movie news.
Yes.
I almost nailed it.
You almost nailed it.
I had it.
That was really good.
Yeah, was it? I was practicing earlier.
Did you look at yourself in the mirror and do that? Like that? That was perfect?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, great.
So, if you haven't noticed, we didn't have an episode last week.
Yeah.
Our apologies.
Very sorry.
But we invite you to come in tonight and sit down, and I'll get you some drinks.
Yeah, we'll get you too. Because
we got lots of fun stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
So,
we do.
We're glad you're here, guys.
We are glad.
And because we didn't have an episode last week,
yeah,
we are going to try to have a bonus episode this weekend or sometime in the next few days.
Yes.
We'll have the What'd You Watch episode that we promised. And we are going to do that. Just a whole episode of just us talking about
things that
all the good and the bad things that we've watched. Because I actually have been watching a number of things.
So have I, actually. Good movie.
One of those, I'll say, I did watch your previous Netflix recommendation.
Right at Your Door?
Right at Your Door, yeah, I watched it.
Cool.
But
don't tell me that.
No, yeah, we'll go over that in our extra long What'd You Watch episode, which will probably be uploaded a day or two, give or take, after this episode.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to skip the whole What'd You Watch portion of the show this time because of that extra long episode we'll give you.
Yep.
And we're going to go right into all the headlines, the story pools, and all that good stuff. But before we do, Jeffrey, how are you?
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm doing great. How are you?
Good.
Great.
Very good.
Also,
I wish that I brought my drinks with me. But
sad day.
I left all my alcoholic beverages in my kitchen. So,
they were alcoholic beverages. When you were saying that, I was thinking like, Coke, Pepsi, or whatever. So I was like, well, is my Coke not good enough for you? But now I know.
Well,
that is actually rather sad.
You know, when I need to spend a lot of time with you, Jeffrey, after a while, I just really need drinks.
I understand.
Because honestly, I'm not sure if I can make it through this.
I understand.
On nothing but Mountain Dew.
Sometimes when I look at myself in the mirror, I just have to take a shot of whiskey.
All right. Oh, man.
Yep, off to a great start so
far.
Yeah,
so we have there's some decent things to come out this week. It hasn't been real big, but it also hasn't been dead either, which is a good thing.
It's a very interesting week, nonetheless.
Yeah, and surprise, surprise, there's no surprise.
There's no surprise. There's never
It's
surprise.
mostly been Marvel stuff.
It really has.
Which I am happy about because, man, I love my Marvel news and stuff like that.
I mean, look
I love
at your
it
shirt.
all. You know that? Yeah.
Oh, wait, you can't. Why am I saying that over?
The people listening don't know what I'm wearing. Yeah, it's an Avengers shirt.
Yeah.
But I feel like every other episode we do is just going to be Marvel top story stuff.
It is.
I think so far we had the Godzilla as our
headline.
Episode 2 was a Godzilla headline.
Yeah. Oh, Transformers.
Oh yeah.
Transformers was a headline.
Yeah.
So it has been.
So half of them.
Yeah, half of them now.
Right.
Good job, Marvel.
Yeah. But anyway, let's jump into it.
Yeah.
The headline is
not pool.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe. What was it called? Assembling a Universe.
Assembling a Universe.
That was the recent pseudo-documentary.
Yeah.
Best way to put it.
Yeah.
It aired this past Tuesday, and it was just a 1-hour pseudo-documentary on the ABC channel.
Yep.
And it was about how the Marvel Cinematic Universe got started.
Yes.
Kind of documenting the process of deciding to make an Iron Man movie and a Hulk movie, and then jumping from there into the bigger, wider universe of Avengers.
Yes.
And how they decided to splice all these movies together in the same universe and kind of be the ones to like really pioneer that type of...
Yes.
I'm not sure if they're the first studio to ever do that with a film series, but they're definitely the most successful.
Yeah, they are the most prominent, most successful, and I think I was talking to you earlier that honestly, in this sense, I would say that they're really the first studio to do it in in a more wide-reaching audience type way than ever before.
Because you got movies like Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah.
Which kind of tries to bridge some kind of gap. But those are also... Not only are they kind of obscure...
Yeah.
But they're also, if I'm correct, they're like what-if stories. They're not actually...
Yeah. They're in a way what-if fan fiction if we could write it kind of thing.
It's just like, these aren't actually a part of the Alien lore. Yeah. It's just a, hey, wouldn't it be crazy kind of story.
And I mean, it's cool, but it was never planned to be that. While
they're
Marvel,
also not good.
Well, yeah.
They're not good.
They're not. They have some pretty funny, cool action moments, but not good.
Every time I think of Alien vs. Predator, the very first thing that comes to my mind is that girl running down the hall in the hospital, and the big throwing star gets thrown down the hall, and it just sticks her to the wall.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid.
I think was that Requiem?
Yeah, that was the second one.
Yeah.
The second half of her body just kind of falls off.
Whenever I think about that, I just think of that huge pyramid that was in Antarctica or somewhere below ice.
It was in the Arctic somewhere.
It was the Arctic somewhere, and they just see this huge pyramid. They have the whole fight there. The explosion happens. The whole thing turns blue and whatever.
I love how in that movie, the number of aliens in the end of that movie, don't make sense.
They don't.
Because
no, they don't.
10 people walk into that pyramid, and so at most 10 aliens should walk out. But that tower, or not tower, that temple was covered.
It was like
the whole temple,
of Pitch Black.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. The whole temple was black because of the number of aliens crawling out of it. Not that many people walked in. Yeah. I don't know.
If you remember the trailer too, that was like the biggest thing that they were showing off, especially at the end of all the trailers coming out the screen.
All the trailers running at that Predator.
Oh god! all the aliens just climbing up there, and it's so dumb. Wow. But Marvel.
but Marvel. So they, in addition to explaining how they got the Marvel universe started and stuff like that, they showed some sneak peeks of upcoming movies, and I think that was the biggest draw for people to want to show up and watch. I wanted to. Have to admit, I actually haven't seen it. Yeah. Sadly, I've seen the previews, but I didn't get a chance to watch the show itself. They went over, showed some stuff for Winter Soldier. Yeah. And I'm currently trying my best to avoid anything that has to do with Captain America right now. Yeah. I have seen enough of it from featurettes and trailers and stuff that if I feel like if I see any more, I'll honestly be able to fit the whole movie together. Ooh. So, I don't want to know anything. And the movie's already out. Yeah. I don't know if I don't know if it's officially released, but I know that everybody in Europe has seen the movie now. Oh. They got their premiere this past week. That is right. I don't know if the movie's officially out in theaters over there, but everybody's seen it. So there are certain websites I just can't go to anymore. Yeah. Because I know the first thing I see is going to be people talking about Captain America spoilers. Yeah. I can't have it.
And this game changer.
Yeah. It is getting reviews now. And people are saying it's the best movie since Iron Man, the first one. So I'm totally psyched.
And I normally don't even look at the site for reviews, but I did anyways at IGN, gave it a 9 out of 10, saying that it's literally the best Marvel movie because it mixes so many different elements.
I think the general consensus at the moment is that it's a really great movie, and one of the best parts about the movie is that it works well on its own. Yeah. It's kind of weird, but for a movie that is tied so heavily to all the stuff that came before it, and is directly tied to Age of Ultron, and it's out of all of the movies for Phase 2, that's the one that is the prelude to Age of Ultron. For a movie that's so connected to everything else, it works the best as the standalone movie.
And I'm happy with that.
Cool.
Because, And this isn't even a spoiler about, like, the political thriller part of it.
Yeah, it's...
I think that's great.
James Bondy with some superheroes.
I think that's awesome. It's an interesting and unique mix that you wouldn't really think about when it comes to a movie. But, you know.
I'm excited for it. I do know that there's the Marvel has officially put up the first 11 minutes of the movie on the internet.
Yeah.
That's not even leaked. That's not shaky cam leaked. That's Marvel just put up the first 11 minutes you can find on the internet. Yeah. I'm not watching it.
I wouldn't either.
That's too much.
Well, honestly, with my internet, it would just be choppy. And then
with your internet, it would actually be the first hour and a half of the movie.
Great. You mean we're getting a 3-hour movie?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awful.
So, that stuff. They went over Captain America, Winter Soldier stuff. They showed some Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, including what I think is a new teaser. I think it's maybe a TV spot or something.
Yeah, of course.
But they got more footage. I've seen pictures of it, but I haven't seen the video itself. Mm-hmm. And then, most importantly, they showed some sneak previews of Age of Ultron. Yeah. That's what everybody's looking forward to the most. And they didn't show any footage or anything like that because they haven't been filming a whole lot. But they did show some concept art. Yeah. So they showed concept art for some characters and some scenes that we're going to see in the movie. So let's talk about those real quick. Yeah. They showed the costumes for Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Yes. I saw that.
So, what do you think about the costumes for Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver?
I can't wait to see Elizabeth Olsen in that. I think she's a cutie patootie. I'm bringing that word back for her.
She's a QT 3.14.
Yeah.
See what I did there?
Yeah, I do. But yeah.
So, and then let me flip over to the Quicksilver picture.
And I can't remember who's supposed to be Quicksilver in this because it always puts me back into the X-Men Quicksilver.
It's the kid from Kick-Ass. He is Kick-Ass.
That is right.
Kid.
Yes.
He's also in Godzilla.
Yes. I always misplace him because I'm thinking of Evan Peters from American Horror Story because he's playing Quicksilver in the X-Men, and
that kid was also in Kick-Ass to make it more confusing. He was one of the geeky friends.
Oh my god.
Yeah, blew your mind.
Yeah, because I never knew it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there goes my life. Guess I better go down this rabbit hole of what the fuck ever. Anyways.
I think Quicksilver looks much better in this movie than the X-Men.
Yeah.
That X-Men Quicksilver looks fucking terrible.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Have you not seen the picture
I've kind of seen, I can't remember the picture fully.
Because
everything gets molded together.
He looks more like Mallory Archer than Quicksilver.
What kind of...
I'm not even kidding. No, I'm not even kidding.
That is the perfect description.
He looks like Mallory Archer.
Mallory Archer. Wow. And if you don't know who Mallory Archer is, first, shame on you. Second, go watch Archer. Third, it's from Archer. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture real quick of the
no worries.
Quicksilver.
Because for some, like I said, my mind will meld together all of the looks. Wow.
Yeah, you like that?
You weren't even joking.
No.
How did I see?
Yeah. That wig is the pits. Oh, okay. What I just showed you was a very heavily stylized picture for a magazine cover. Here's an actual frame from the movie. The silence tells the entire story.
Gosh. I can't even deal with his face. Well, I mean, okay, honestly, he's always had that face throughout everything he's been in, but that
wig is the worst thing I've seen from a big budget movie. That is...
Well, we are talking about Fox here. They like to cut some corners.
I don't
but really, they need to cut some corners on that wig, though.
Yeah, what they need to be cutting is that hair.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway,
good golly gizzards.
So, the Marvel version, the MCU version of Quicksilver, is the one that we'll be seeing in Age of Ultron, is older, more masculine. He's much more of a superhero than a kid.
Yeah.
His hair is, from what I can tell from the concept art, could change.
Yeah.
It's not going to be silver.
Yeah.
It's actually just going to be his natural brown hair color. But they are still going to keep it slicked back, like the comic book character.
Mm.
So what you're seeing in that concept art, that's not the color of the comic book character's hair, but that's the style. And I would rather keep the style than that color, because that color is not natural. It's not. It's so silly to see that it wouldn't work in the movies. On the movie.
Well, it really wouldn't work in that universe because, I mean, my personal interpretation of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is everything feels realistic and natural. Not into like the overly realistic of DC in a sense.
Yeah.
But and that's what makes it nice. And that's why I actually like their costumes.
Yeah. And
because it feels
Pietro Quicksilver, he is Magneto's son in the comics, which explains why he has the white hair.
Yeah, yeah.
But he is not going to be Magneto's son in the movie. Yeah. So, at least you're allowed. You can get away with not making his hair silver.
Yeah.
But his costume looks very simplistic in this. It looks pretty much just like blue spandex, and that's pretty much it. And maybe some black track pants or something. It's kind of hard to tell. It's just concept art.
Right.
And he's doing a blurry run right now, so it's really hard to tell. But already, from that concept art, it's better than the X-Men Days of Future's Past costume for Quicksilver, where he's just wearing a gray biker jacket. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I think Quicksilver easily better than the X-Men Quicksilver.
Did they show Quicksilver in the trailer for Days of Future's Past?
I don't believe. If they did, it was just like a frame of it. They didn't show him in action.
Because I know they are doing a new trailer comes out this week, whichever one you want to call it.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if they were possibly going to show maybe a little bit. Maybe that'll be shown in the trailer. Who knows if they'll show him like in the whole garb of everything.
Don't know.
Yeah.
But now showing the Scarlet Witch costume.
Yeah.
A lot of people like it.
Yeah.
It's very civilian-y. I don't know. It doesn't look like a superhero costume. It looks like this is average, everyday, like, kind of hipstery, maybe that's not the word I should use, but like a young, modern, everyday casual wear.
Yeah.
Except she has some like crazy looking gloves on.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking that it's a possibility that this is just sort of like she'll get the actual suit for herself later on, and they don't really want to show off her suit.
Maybe, but I will say that I am pretty bummed out that they're not using her costume from the comics. Because this is the first, the Marvel movies have been really good about keeping the look of the Marvel characters and staying really close to the comics. Yeah. X-Men, way off base. The X-Men movies have been really far away from their actual costumes. Yeah. Not always in a bad way. As much as the black leather costumes get a lot of hate, I actually kind of think that it works for the X-Men movies. But, so, since Marvel is always so good about keeping their characters really close, I was disappointed to see this concept art and to see that it's just casual wear. And you're right. I hope that she gets a costume at the end of the movie. If she gets her costume with a crown and the cape and stuff...
I don't want a cape, actually.
It looks so good on her, though.
It would, but the cape, I think, would actually... I don't know. For me, I think the cape would sort of take away from...
The only character that has a cape right now is Thor.
Yeah.
You need to have another person with a cape.
No capes.
No.
Oh, darn.
You ruined it.
Huh?
You ruined it.
I ruined it?
Yeah.
I ruined it. But no, I wouldn't want a cape. I wouldn't want a cape on the character.
But here, I'm bringing up a picture of her comic book.
And I've seen that one.
The one with the dress isn't bad either. That was a popular
I think the one with the dress would be amazing.
That would work for a movie.
Yes.
I wish you guys could see this, but there, in addition to her classic costume with the cape and the single swimsuit thing she's got going on,
the single swimsuit would just be silly.
It would be a little silly, and also, as much as I love her, the actress, I don't think she's got the body to fill that out, so to speak. But the classy red dress with the crown works really nice. And I hope that she gets that kind of costume again. As long as she gets something. I feel like the civilian wear in the concept art's not really interesting. But they also showed another picture. They showed a concept art painting of the Hulk tearing it up in the street, locking it up with Iron Man in the Hulkbuster suit.
Yep.
Which should be the picture for this video.
Done.
Okay. So
I'll try to remember.
Yeah, try to remember that, Jeffrey. The Iron Man suit is twice as big as the Hulk.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It is.
I love it. And I look forward to that scene in the movie for sure.
It's going to be a really cool scene. It's going to be a really cool scene.
Yeah.
And, of course, you know how everybody's making the... You know, they see that and they're like, you know what, that could possibly mean World War Hulk.
Dude, what did I tell you in the last episode?
You did say it. We did talk about this.
The last episode, we talked about, like, man, wouldn't it be great if Banner, like, got into a fight with Iron Man or somebody, hurt him, and so at the end of the movie, Iron Man and the rest of them ship him off into space.
Yeah.
I'm still in the boat that it's impossible. I still don't think we'll ever get a Planet Hulk movie.
Yeah.
But this is a step in the right direction.
Yeah. This could just lead to something that we don't think that that would ever happen, and it would be really cool. It would be really cool.
A Planet Hulk movie. Yeah. Seriously, just
how would you feel if the day that just pops up on a movie website?
If they announced it, I would cry. I would literally cry. I would break down into tears, and I'm not afraid to say that. You
would say, "Lie down, try not to cry, cry a lot."
Oh my gosh, yeah. I seriously would, because Hulk is one of my favorite characters from the comics. I've been reading comics forever.
Yeah.
And the Planet Hulk was always my favorite one. Cool. So we're heading in that direction. I still don't think it'll happen.
No.
But
well, I mean, there's always that chance. Yeah. Always that chance.
But anyway, so we got a lot of sneak previews of upcoming Marvel stuff. It was pretty cool.
Yep.
And speaking of getting new sneak peeks and footage of Marvel movies, comic book movies, they also released the trailer, the third trailer, also known as the final trailer for The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
Jeffrey, what'd you think about it?
It actually made me want to go see the movie. I'm not going to lie to you. I had very little interest, and I'm sure you did as well.
Yeah.
Going into this Amazing Spider-Man 2. I still haven't seen the first one. I mean, there we go.
I mean, like we've said...
I try so hard. It's bad. It's gotten bad, let me tell you. Okay. It's on Netflix. I know it's on Netflix.
I don't think it is.
I thought it was on Netflix. There was one point when I thought I saw The Amazing Spider-Man on Netflix.
It had to have been like a cartoon or something.
It might have been.
There's a bunch of Marvel cartoons on there.
There is. But, well... Even better example, even if it's not on Netflix, I know for a fact I did this. I rented it, and I set myself down to watch it. I did not put it in, I just played video games. I didn't care. And then I took it right back. I spent $2 and gas to go and rent this movie, and I never watched it. I want to give it a try. It's just... I even started it on, a website. Just
like,
it's just...
I mean, I've mentioned this... a number of times before, but you can honestly get away with not seeing it.
Exactly.
It's exactly what you think is going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's not good either.
I even played the video game, and I was like, well, I'll give the movie a try.
I do remember, you know what, I do remember you getting the video game.
Yeah, I didn't buy it. I surely rented it. I didn't buy that thing. But I was, I wanted to get into this new universe.
The second movie, and I've said this before, as much shit as I give the first one, second one doesn't look bad.
It doesn't, no.
I'm still not entirely sold on it.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see the reviews before I go see it.
Yeah.
But I will say that it does look better.
It does. It does. It has a... I don't want to say it has a different tone to it, but it certainly looks better in the terms of action.
He looks more like a hero this time around than a kid who has no idea
what he's doing,
what's going on. Which, I mean, I guess when I say it like that, it makes sense. Obviously, the first movie, when he just gets his powers, obviously he's not going to know what's going on.
But still, that doesn't excuse that sort of look as well, a lot of times.
And you know what else I love about the next one? There are scenes that take place during the fucking day.
Yes.
Because what is the deal with the... Yeah, well, you haven't seen it, never mind.
No, I've seen not parts, but, like, I understand,
there's
order
maybe,
of it.
There's maybe a scene in the first Spider-Man movie that takes place in the day. And the rest of it's all at night.
I bet you that's the only clip I've seen online, probably. That takes place in the day, and it's just him outside of a house or something. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
But it looks like he's fighting the Rhino during the day in the middle of the city. That's what I want.
Which has a really cool sequence at the end of that trailer.
Yeah, that's where he's like doing the slow motion jumping
with 3 missiles have been launched, and then he's got the manhole and swinging that around, blocking, like making one missile explode on one side, knocking the other one into a building. By the way, knocking it into a building.
Yeah. Well, Spider-Man, man of murder.
Yeah. That voice. And then the other one knocking that upwards, and then suddenly cut to him slamming it into the side of his face. Obviously, it's going to happen like that. And they cut it off before it. Like, oh no, what's going to happen with that manhole? We get to the movie, and it just fucking glitches out and flies everywhere else and knocks Spider-Man out. That one should happen. Never mind, I'm going to stop talking. Continue.
So, it looks alright.
Yeah.
You know, we'll see what happens.
For me, it gives me a reason to maybe watch it. Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about it. Like,
have you noticed that that's also becoming a strange new trend when it comes to a lot of movies as of recently?
What?
Doing the whole character trailer, in a sense. Like, of course, we had The Rise of Electro. This one is sort of focused mainly more on Green Goblin. I can't remember. There've been more like 3-minute trailers sort of introducing characters as of recently. I don't know if that's a new trend that's starting up, but I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know. I guess it works for this type of movie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if, like, Avengers got something similar down the road. Got a trailer that focused mostly on Ultron, and then got a trailer that focused a little bit more on the Nazi villains of that movie.
Well, do you feel like it takes away more from the movie by doing that? Because, I mean, we're sort of getting this...
I don't know how I feel about getting so many trailers.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man 2, has had more trailers than any other movie. Not just trailers, but teasers, trailers, featurettes.
Primetime specials. Because, I mean, there was like...
I think, honestly, I think if you took all the footage from all the different trailers and teasers and featurettes and whatnot from Amazing Spider-Man 2, and you put it in chronological order, like, after you see the movie and you see what the order of the scenes take place in, and you fit all that stuff together, I bet you could tell the story.
Probably, yeah.
From all the footage there.
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Wouldn't be surprised.
You know, they're showing an awful lot.
They are. But, you know.
What was I going to say? I know that they have confirmed recently that Amazing Spider-Man 3 and 4 is happening.
Yeah.
And I think Mark Webb, the man who directs these movies, said that he is not going to do Spider-Man 4.
Yes.
And he is not going to do the Sinister Six movie.
No, he's not.
And the Sinister Six movie is going to be a spin-off that is supposedly going to be just about Spider-Man's villains.
Yeah. Forming
the Sinister Six, and I have no idea how that's going to work.
I don't either.
I really don't. A lot of people are excited for it. A lot of people are really stoked about a Sinister Six movie. Like, oh my gosh, that's so cool because they were so cool in the comics. You got Doc Ock and Rhino and et cetera, all teaming up. To do what in a movie?
Yeah.
You know, in the comics, they teamed up to fight Spider-Man. And, like, is Spider-Man going to be in the movie?
Yeah.
If he is he just going to be, like, a side character or something like that?
Is sort of like a role switching when it comes to
that would
movies.
be cool.
Yeah.
If it's like a complete role switch where you're following the villain's perspective and how they keep getting beaten by Spider-Man or something like that as the movie goes on, that would be cool. But I have a feeling that Spider-Man's not even going to be in the movie. They'll mention him, but I doubt he'll even be in the movie. And if he's not, the hell are these guys going to do? Where are they going to be? What's the, you know...
Are they going to take down an even bigger villain?
Yeah, my theory is that they're going to form the team to fight Spider-Man, but eventually they're going to realize that one or more of the members of the group is worse than they think, and it's like, okay, the rest of the movie is just 5 of the members trying to fight one member.
Yeah.
As they realize his plans are a little bit more sadistic than just beating Spider-Man and stealing money or some shit.
Yeah.
He's like a let's destroy the world kind of thing.
Yeah. He's already about to.
Yeah.
And in the movie it blows up.
Who knows what it'll do. Who knows what it'll be about. But I think it's going to be a challenge for them to actually make a successful, interesting movie about villains.
Do you think that... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Like I said, I read comics so often. Comics that follow the perspective of the villain don't work very often. Sometimes they do. Sometimes you get some cool stories. But as a whole, if you get a comic that's from a villain's perspective, it's just kind of...
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't work as well. So we'll see. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, how do you think the audience will take it?
Well, judging by the internet's reaction, very well.
Really?
Because as a whole, most people are extremely excited for the Sinister Six movie. Mm-hmm. It's obviously superhero movies have to try new things and they have to try to break new ground.
Yeah.
And a movie all about a group of supervillains is one of those things that would break new ground.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be a big challenge. I think people might be disappointed if it, depends on what the story is, I guess. Yeah, Venom gets his own movie too.
Yeah.
Which I've never been a fan of Venom in the comics, but good luck for that one too, I guess.
Yeah.
Hopefully that Venom turns out much better than the one in Spider-Man 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the Venom movie has the exact same problem that I just mentioned for Sinister Six.
What are they going to do?
What's he going to do? Because in the comics, he's all about fighting Spider-Man. That's all he wants to do. Just fight Spider-Man. Not even, sometimes it's not even to kill him. Sometimes it's just to dick around with him. Kind of like Joker on Batman. Yeah. Joker's just trying to mess with him.
Yeah. Just need something
half
to
the
do.
time, that's all Venom does. And that's another movie that, if Spider-Man's not in it, you lose. You've just messed up Venom.
Yep.
Like, what can he possibly do?
These are the questions that will be answered on the next grand episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Nope. Not even.
So, speaking of other questionable superhero movies that may or may not work.
Yeah.
More X-Men movies have been announced.
Yep.
Wolverine 2 and 3.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman coming back for both.
Surprising, because Hugh Jackman recently said that he doesn't want to do more Wolverine movies.
Yeah.
But here he is, he's signed on to do 2 and 3.
Yep.
And I think the dates have been announced for those two movies. But
I did. And the thing was, I didn't really find a lot when it came to Wolverine 3. I found like one article saying something about it on the side, and something else, and they were also mentioning about Hugh Jackman coming back for a third. But at the same time, it's just like,
I just
where
don't
is
care.
he? Where is he going
I thought
to stop?
I thought the Wolverine, the first one, kind of boring.
Mm.
Not bad like Origins Wolverine was,
right?
But not exciting. And I felt like there were no stakes, and it was just meh. whatever.
It was another movie that I wanted to give a try, and it's still just sitting on that back burner. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not missing a whole lot. It's better than Amazing Spider-Man.
I'm sure. Yeah.
But this isn't much of a spoiler either.
Go ahead.
Here's the biggest problem with that movie.
Yeah.
Here's a problem with that movie.
It's not the biggest, so
I don't know. This isn't a spoiler because they say it in the trailer.
Yeah.
He loses his healing factor. At some point in the movie, due to reasons, he can't heal anymore. Now you've got some stakes.
Yep.
Because, he gets shot
in the
movie. He gets shot, He's like, oh, will he live? Whatever. And that also introduces the concept of if he gets a chance to get it back at the end, will he take it? Because, the healing factor for Wolverine is a curse as much as a blessing. Would he want it back if he had the chance to get it back? Now this is a spoiler.
Yeah, fine.
He gets it back like 30 minutes after he loses it, when it's not even the end of the movie.
And you know what's funny about that?
What?
You can tell that from the trailers. You can honestly kind of tell that from the trailers. Because it just didn't feel like he actually lost his powers. After they showed it in the trailer, like, oh no, he lost his powers, what's he gonna do? He's gotta fight to get it back, or whatever.
And the way he gets it back was stupid as fuck, too. I won't tell you about, that was dumb.
Let me guess, it was just sort of like the whole Resident Evil Retribution kind of way of Alice losing her powers in the helicopter crash and all that, and somehow she just gets him back just because they gave him back to her.
He goes through a method,
Tai Chi,
dumb.
got it. We're got it.
Yeah.
We're going to call it Tai Chi.
He did some yoga.
Stretched out them hammies.
But seriously, I'm serious. After he got his healing power back, he still had, 2 more, fights.
Wow.
Or 2 or 3 more, villains, or,
obstacles?
In the trailer they show all the ninjas jumping around and fighting him in the snow.
Yeah.
He gets his healing back before that happens. So it doesn't even matter. All the 100, 200 ninjas shooting him with arrows and shit like that, it doesn't matter because as soon as the arrows hit his skin, it immediately heals. And it's just, looking at it, you're watching, it's just like, who even cares?
Yeah.
The dude can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And there's no consequences. He's almost on Superman level of uninteresting, no stakes. It's a shame. And Wolverine can work as a really cool character in the comics sometimes. Comics are not always spared either. They'll make the same mistakes as the movies, and they make him
just unstoppable.
Here's a little thing that I always say about Wolverine.
Go on.
Wolverine is a very interesting character. He's small, he's ugly, he's hairy, he's smelly, he's this very unappealing, unattractive person, not just in terms of, romantic attraction.
Yeah.
I mean, just, you don't want to be in the same room as him. He's a jerk, he's a horrible person, but he's got a heart of gold. He's got the heart of gold, and he doesn't work well on teams, but he knows when he has to. He heals relatively faster than people. That's his power. If he gets an artery cut, he can bleed out if he doesn't bandage it up. But if he does, maybe over a course of a day, it'll heal. There's a comic where he falls from space to the Earth, and it burns off. And entering the atmosphere burns off most of the flesh on his body.
Yeah.
And he almost died, and it took a week for him to heal back.
He just bandages up, rubbed himself with some dirt. We're good. Kind of thing.
He uses his claws very sparingly.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to kill people, but he's the heart of gold.
Yeah.
That's Wolverine. Wolverine is a great character. Then there's Sniktbub.
Go on.
Sniktbub, often confused for Wolverine,
Oh.
is is looks very much like Wolverine, except he's not really hairy.
Yeah.
He's not very ugly. He's extremely handsome. For some reason, he's a foot taller than he usually is.
Okay.
Yeah. He's not hunched over like an animal. He stands upright like a superhero.
Oh.
He
snap.
He has lots of women like all over him all the time. Jean Grey, bang.
Bang.
Storm, bang. Other Japanese girls,
Bang,
bang. Just all these women just love Snickbub. Snickbub can heal before he even takes the wound. His healing factor is so fast that the knife hasn't even penetrated his skin and he's healed it. Snickbub is a part of every team. Snickbub is an Avenger. He's a new Avenger. He's an Academy teacher of the Avengers Academy. He does his own side missions. He's also the professor of the Jean Grey School of Learning. He's
He baked a cake before you walked in the room, knowing that you wanted dessert.
Exactly, and and somewhere else he's eating a different cake.
Oh my goodness!
And
that man's amazing.
He's a very busy man. He works 14 days. He works 14 days of the week.
Oh my goodness!
And yes.
Okay.
He works 14 days out of the week.
Yep.
And he has 10 jobs, 10 full-time jobs.
Oh my gracious!
And he wants to snick some bubs.
He is the most interesting man on earth.
Now, a lot of people often confuse these two characters. One is Wolverine, and one is Snickbub.
Yep.
Unfortunately, comic book writers often use Snickbub. And he is stupid and uninteresting, and he takes all the fun out of any story he's in.
Yeah.
And the Marvel movies, the X-Men Fox movies, are starting to use Snickbub more than Wolverine. Hugh Jackman is a very handsome fellow. Very tall, handsome fellow. He's Snickbub.
Oh no.
He got hit with a nuclear bomb in the beginning of the Wolverine, and he healed it immediately.
God, that just reminded me of Indiana Jones.
It was the same concept.
Everybody loved that, and I said, that is the dumbest thing in the world. I hated that movie. Oh, God. Mainly because of that scene, along with Shia LaBeouf, or I'm sorry, he's not famous anymore. Brown Paper Bag Man. Anyways, let me get off my rant.
You know what? Speaking of rants,
yeah,
I've been talking about Snickbub for 5 minutes, so let's move on.
No worries.
The point of this is that they're making more Wolverine movies that nobody asked for, but we're getting anyway.
Yeah. Along with Fantastic Four.
We're getting Fantastic Four movies that nobody asked for.
We're getting the second one before anybody even knew about the first one that we asked for.
Exactly. They confirmed that the second Fantastic Four movie, reboot, whatever, sequel to the reboot, is going to come out in 2017?
Yes.
I think.
Because the other one's 2015. And yes, there it is.
Fantastic Four 2 for July 14th, 2017.
Oh, man.
Nobody cares. I have never seen a movie so hated.
Really?
Before there's even a trailer than the Fantastic Four reboot.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, and I'm in that boat. I hate it.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry, I usually don't judge movies before trailers come out, but seriously.
It's a movie that you just, like, I just don't...
Yeah, we've already went over it
in
a past episode.
Yeah.
It only exists to keep the rights away from Marvel. It's the only reason it exists.
It's very true. Very true.
And it's going to be shitty. But they also have a unannounced movie for 2018.
Yeah.
Fox has a mystery movie.
Mystery Marvel movie.
That they hope is going to please fans. I think it's going to be one of two things.
One? Up to?
Three things.
One of three?
It's going to be one of three things.
Oh.
Okay. First, the most likely, a crossover movie between X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Okay.
You're going to get two Fantastic Four movies before this, so those characters will have been established.
Of course.
And cross them over with the X-Men.
Okay.
Because those are the two properties that Fox owns, and everybody else wants to do it. You know, Avengers movies have been doing it, and they don't plan on stopping.
Yeah.
It's really popular, Spider-Man wants to build its own universe with all its characters and have them all interchangeable and stuff.
Yeah.
Fox is going to try and do that too.
Yep.
So I think that's the most likely. I think that will also be the least pleasing to the fans, though. Yeah. The second, much less likely, but possible, the Deadpool movie that's been floating around
ever.
Yeah.
One that even Ryan Reynolds has been teasing about.
Ryan Reynolds has been talking about doing it for years, and nothing's come of it. I don't think it'll work. No, it wouldn't be good. Of course, I hate Deadpool as a character anyway, so unfortunately I'm very biased about a Deadpool movie.
Really, once when that happens, we'll just be getting another tie-in.
Have you ever seen an episode of Family Guy?
Yeah.
You've seen Deadpool then?
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's it.
I've also seen snippets of comics of it, of Deadpool as well. Yeah, and I've played the video game.
He's a meme spitting, chimichanga cooking,
killing machine.
Yeah, all the problems of Snickbub, except he also breaks the fourth wall and makes meme jokes while he does it. Yep. So, yeah,
always up to date on the pop culture.
Yeah, somehow. Now, the least likely, but third possible thing we could be getting is a complete reboot of the X-Men franchise. I think it's very unlikely, especially with them wanting to make more Wolverine movies. Right. But if they're going to reboot, they're rebooting Fantastic Four. Yeah, now's as good a time as any to reboot your X-Men and try to make it not shitty.
Well, when did they announce for that mystery reboot to come out?
2018. I think that's all it says. July 18th, 2018.
Well, 2018 is also when X-Men Apocalypse happens.
Are you serious?
I believe so.
Are you sure? That far away? Because, I mean, we're getting Days of Future Past this year. Yeah. It's only 2014 right now. Right. I figured...
Wasn't it 2018 or is it 2016?
It's probably 2016.
Because I know X-Men Apocalypse is somewhere in there.
Yeah. I'm not sure actually when. I don't think it's going to take them 4 years to make that movie.
I don't think it is either.
They're already putting it together.
But
the 2016 follow-up. It's quote-unquote an Inbetweenquel. An Inbetweenquel.
I'm sorry, of what? What is this?
X-Men Apocalypse is an Inbetweenquel.
May I have that in a sentence, please? Oh, you already said it. May I have the origin of the word?
It is going to take place between First Class, which was the prequel, and the original series.
All right, I think I'm ready to spell the word.
Okay.
B-U-L-L-S-H-I-T? Yay! Tell my mom I'm coming home with a prize.
All right.
Anyway.
So
that was sorry. So there's that. Let's see. What else do we have on the in our story pool of interesting?
Fascinating stories.
Oh yeah. Hey.
Well, you know what? Since we're still on the topic of superheroes, why don't we just let's segue?
Let's segue into the better part of this whole.
A very potentially good superhero sequel.
Yes.
Take it away, Jeffrey.
So that No Capes reference, though, was straight into in The Incredibles. Of course, Pixar is going to do a 3D re-release of Incredibles and Ratatouille, but they also announced Incredibles 2. And so, you know, I don't remember exactly who all's coming back for that. I believe Brad Bird is and all that fun stuff. But I'm excited to get more of, you know, Frozone and Dash.
Where's my super suit?
I hope Samuel Jackson comes back for that. And along with, I want to know exactly how far into the future of this franchise or of this movie, or of the series, this actually takes place. It could be between, who knows? This could take place 10 years afterwards. Well, I don't remember reading how much it said.
The first movie came out 10 years ago.
Yes.
It was 2004.
Yes.
So if this movie came out in 2016, let's say, which it might. Well, you see, this year is Nemo 2, right?
Yes.
What's next year?
Next year's another movie. Wait, this year's in Nemo 2.
What's this year's Pixar movie?
Wait.
They do one movie a year.
Yeah, they do. And I felt like...
I thought this 2014 is going to be Nemo 2. It's going to be like Finding Dory.
Isn't it... Wait, no, that's Disney I'm thinking of. I was thinking of the Big Six, the Hero Six.
Nah, that's like a Disney.
Yeah, that's a Disney. I was thinking of... Okay, I don't think Finding Dory's coming out this year. I thought that was coming out next year.
Well, here we go. We gotta search it.
Yep, we gotta search that. But then I know, of course, they have... Gosh, why am I blanking out on all these different things? Let's see. Because I feel like Finding Dory is coming out.
Finding Dory is coming out 2016.
16, okay. Yeah, I didn't think it was...
What's this year's Pixar movie?
I don't know.
Gotta search that.
Yep. But, because I was like, no, it shouldn't be this year, because I'm pretty sure that would be the biggest thing that Ellen would talk about at the Oscars. Because she made a comment about Finding Dory as well. But, Did it not have one?
I'm looking it up right now. It's called Inside Out, a film told from the perspective of the emotions inside the mind of a little girl.
Oh. Wait, what about Tomorrowland?
I don't even know what that is.
Tomorrowland is another
That's a ride at Disney World.
Well, yeah. But it's a movie coming out from Brad Bird.
Tomorrowland, 2014.
Is that Pixar and such?
I'm looking it up.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Just give me a second.
This is how I talk. You know this. Circus, I don't know why that one popped in my head. Is to stop this.
I honestly have not heard of this. I don't know what it possibly is.
I mean, to me, it looked interesting enough. Well, it didn't look interesting. It sounded interesting enough, but I can't remember when they said it was coming out. Doesn't matter.
So apparently, no, wait. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on.
Yeah, no worries.
This year is not Inside Out. 2015 is Inside Out.
Okay.
So, Finding Dory isn't coming out until 2016.
Yeah.
Which, as you can tell I haven't been paying attention because I thought that was this year.
Yeah. So Tomorrowland is this year. Inside Out is next year. Finding Dory is the year after that. And inside that same announcement for, Incredibles 2 was Cars 3, but, we're not going to really talk about that, because...
Yeah, they did announce Cars 3, which, oh my god.
Is there anybody out there? Please raise your hand if you actually care. Don't be shy. Bueller. I didn't think so.
Okay. This particular website I'm on right now says that this year was going to be The Good Dinosaur. Which I've heard about, but I was under the impression that is not a Pixar movie. I thought that was Disney, like Frozen and
and such,
and the Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, man, they need to hurry up and announce Wreck-It Ralph too. They need to. I need that movie like I needed air today, and every other day that I've actually been breathing. But whatever.
Oh, okay, now this says that November 25th, 2015 is The Good Dinosaur's new date. But I'm still under the impression that is not a Pixar movie.
Yeah. Well, nevertheless...
You know what, guys, the point is
that
Incredibles 2
we
might be getting the only we might be getting the only Pixar sequel we want.
Yeah, that we've ever wanted.
Well, everybody's wanted Toy Story.
Yeah, well, I can also say
Dude,
I didn't really want Toy Story 3.
Toy Story 3, while I don't think anybody asked for it,
Yeah.
I don't think anybody had a problem with it either.
They did.
We were all down for it.
Yeah, we were all down.
But that did kind of kickstart a trend.
It did.
Of now Pixar is on the bandwagon for sequels.
And they also, I mean, at one point they were talking about Toy Story 4, which kind of now just ruins everything.
Yeah,
you know?
don't do that.
Because, I mean, that's why I didn't want Toy Story 3, because if you leave Toy Story 1 and 2 as they were, it's a great story. I mean, yeah, 3 was great and all, but honestly, to me, I didn't really actually want it. But I'm glad it happened.
You know, if, let's assume, hypothetically, that an Incredibles sequel took place 15 years in the future.
Yeah.
If we got it in 2017,
Okay.
that's 13 years after the first one in real time.
Yeah.
So let's make it 13 years after the first movie, so that those kids are adults now.
Yeah.
And Elastigirl, and the movie is about them, the 2 kids, or the 3 kids. Right? There was a baby, right?
Yes.
Am I remembering that correctly?
Yes.
So that baby would be like 13 years old now. So he'd be the bratty, possibly angsty character.
Who could be a super villain in a weird way.
I don't know.
I would like for that to happen, honestly. I think that'd be cool. The villain is the family, or the baby. That'd be cool. Anyways, and they're all seasoned. Like, seasoned heroes kind of thing, and hero came back.
You know, like, I think, like, if this was the case, I believe that
let's
the
just
2
go
parents...
ahead and just make our own fan fiction about this.
Fan fiction for...
Fan fiction Incredibles.
New segment of the show.
Whoa.
The two parents, Elastigirl and Mr. Incredible.
Yeah.
They are now more aged.
Yes.
The first movie was already about him possibly being too old to be a superhero now and having trouble getting back into shape and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So now at this point, like, he should seriously put the mantle up.
Yeah.
And be done with it. Pass the torch to his children.
Yeah.
So they don't fight crime anymore.
No. They maybe just, like, they're seasoned. They're in a way
this way, like, at the end of the movie, during the final battle, when he does get into his costume, it's more of a funny, heroic kind of thing.
Getting back into the suit.
Like, he doesn't fit it anymore.
Yeah.
The son, Fast Boy.
Dash.
Yeah. Now, he's the one that's all about fighting crime.
Yeah.
He is the man. He's really popular and shit like that.
Yeah. Violet.
Violet, I believe, should be more of a... Like, she's an adult finishing college.
Yeah.
Like, she was in high school during the first one, right?
Yes.
So she's already way past college then, if this was 13 years later.
Oh, yeah.
She should be, like, getting married and having her own kids or something like that.
She probably had, like, honestly, I see Violet not even, like, I see her, like, what was she studying most in high school?
I don't know.
I can't remember. I don't know. I kind of see her, like, when she went off to college, she had a degree in just about everything.
I don't know, but, like, she needs to be, like, she doesn't want to be the superhero because she's got her own family now. And maybe that makes Dash angry because he wants the superhero family to stick together, but Mom and Pop are, they're too old. Yeah. His older sister is now off doing normal things with her husband or whatever. Yeah. Possible kids or something like that.
Dash, or not Dash,
and
the
Dash,
baby is...
yeah, he really wants the little brother to be his sidekick or something like that.
Yeah.
But maybe he's just uninterested in being a superhero or something like that. And the story is about him, like, searching for, like...
that family element
he needs other heroes or something like that. Finds out maybe there's another group or something like that he tries to join or something like that. That's what needs to happen.
Or maybe
that's the story.
Or maybe the baby is...
Pixar, are you listening to me?
You better be listening to us, because we're brainstorming for you. Because we wanted this for years. You didn't give it to us. Now you reap the fucking consequences, motherfucker.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I brought out the knife. Everyone listening, please, don't put down your beer. It's not for you. It's for Pixar. Anyways, also Tomorrowland is that Pixar movie.
Oh, you figured that out?
Yeah.
Okay.
That I was thinking of.
So anyway,
Or at least
that's exciting.
Tomorrowland comes
I'm
out this
totally
year.
more than okay with a Pixar incredible sequel. Don't give a crap about Cars 3.
Nope.
Don't give a crap about Finding Dory.
Yeah. I'm in and out about that. I mean, I liked Finding Nemo
Finding Nemo was okay, but don't beat this.
They're beating the dead horse, really. Beating a dead fish. They're beating a horsefish.
God, she's already...
A seahorse. There we are. Seahorse.
You know how everybody says they keep making Taken movies? I mean, like, how many times can his family be taken from him, and he has to go find them?
Yeah.
How many times can these fish fucking, like, get lost? And we gotta find them.
Well, yeah.
So,
well, I mean...
Also, Dory... I've actually had people get really upset with me when I've said this.
Oh, goodness.
People can get really defensive over Pixar movies.
Yeah, they can, actually.
Like, god dang. They've got some dedicated fans.
Yes,
I have had a guy get literally upset with me because I said that Dory, I don't think she can hold a movie on her own as the lead.
Wow.
Be like, but she's so popular, she's so funny. I'm like, yeah, she's really funny and popular as like this side character that has like one ongoing joke. Mm-hmm. The joke of the first movie is that she can't remember anything. And a whole movie of that, where she's the main character, and the movie is about her, is not gonna work.
No.
But whatever.
But, do what you do.
Speaking of Taken, though, they're making another one of those, so that's the thing. Taken 3 is happening, he's gonna lose his family again.
Yep.
This time, they'll probably be put in space or something, so expect to see him get in a rocket and go to the moon to save his family.
Also, I was wrong again. I'm looking it up now with a better website. We won't get a Pixar movie this year.
Bullshit.
No Pixar movie this year.
That's unnatural.
The last Pixar movie that we got, of course, was Monsters University.
Yep.
And the next one, Inside Out, The Good Dinosaur, Finding Dory. And then 3 unannounced ones, Incredibles 2, Cars 3. And another unannounced one about Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that one.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's what we're getting. More than likely, Toy Story 4 is in that mix somewhere. They just won't fully announce it yet.
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not.
I hope that from now on, the only series that gets a sequel is Incredibles.
Yes.
I don't think any other Pixar movie deserves or requires a sequel.
Agreed.
I think I would definitely not be surprised if they try to milk out another Up sequel.
That would be so hard to do. I don't see how that could happen, actually. I don't see how Up could have a sequel. I can't see a visual.
I know that that's one that everybody jacks off to.
Yeah. Oh wow. Oof.
Isn't that what
big guns?
Isn't that what happens? Are you guys just so freaking crazy about Ups?
Or Wall-E?
Well, I liked Wall-E more than I liked Up.
Oh man, I didn't like Wall-E at all. I could not.
I'm not saying it's. The best one,
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I liked it better than Up.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say something. I can't even remember it now.
Up to me seemed like just a kid's version of Family Guy, of just random jokes left and right, just like, haha, this makes no sense, but like this is just, oh well, now we'll have a bird that eats chocolate and runs around, and then oh here's a dog that talks, but he can't talk because there's a squirrel, and the main character is an autistic kid, which was interesting, an interesting choice to make your main character autistic. I like the first 5 minutes of the movie, and then it kind of goes downhill from there.
What about Ratatouille or Brave?
One
of those?
I did like Brave more than most people seem to. Mm-hmm. Brave seemed to get panned a little bit.
It did, actually, which was strange.
I gave it crap when we saw trailers, because I thought it was just another Mulan
really
story.
I thought it was another Brother Bear.
Well, I never saw a trailer that showed anything about bears, though.
I didn't either, no. Well, I did, actually. I did kind of get one, and it was the Japanese trailer.
Okay, I didn't watch
But yeah,
it. I didn't see that.
but anyways.
No, like, all the trailers that were released, at least all the ones here, none of them show bears.
Yeah.
It's just her shooting arrows and being like, "Wouldn't you like to change your fate?" Or something along those lines.
Oh, God. If you could just see your face when you did that. I could see the teeth for days. Teeth for days. Anyways.
But because of the nature of the
If you could change your fate, would you?
Would you?
That's it. Would you? That was it. Anyways, continue.
If you just saw the trailers, like, it just looked like another version of Mulan that took place in a different part of the world. And that, to me, did not seem interesting. And then I eventually saw the movie.
Yeah.
When it came out on DVD. And it was this... That has nothing to do with the movie. Like, it's this story, like, not even... Yeah. Like, a halfway into it or something. Not even halfway in.
Yeah.
You get the bear thing going on.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I was like, you know what? This was surprisingly good.
It was.
And it might just be because I had such low hopes for it that I was well surprised and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Ratatouille, I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
It was okay.
It was okay.
It's one of those ones that I didn't hate it at all. I enjoyed it, but I probably won't ever see it again.
Right. I liked Brave, but once when it started getting to the bear part, like, that's why I brought up Brother Bear, because there was a lot of things that they do in that whole, like, montage that, now, mom's a bear kind of thing. That,
I thought it was charming.
It was charming,
I
but
did
there
think
was, like, a part when... It
kind of went a little overboard when the kids got turned into bears.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
For comedic relief.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's always comedy relief. We gotta have something to bring in the kids to make out the funny things on the end of the trailers when they're trying to put up the date and they can't hold it up kind of thing. That bullshit that every other cartoon trailer does when it comes to having a witty side... Not even witty. Charming side character thing. Anyways, like, there were, like, lots of scenes that happened in Brave that also happened in Brother Bear that I remember. Like, the biggest thing that stands out to me was when she was trying to catch fish.
Yeah.
And the fish does the exact same thing that happened in Brother Bear. Comes up and just slaps the bear in the face and keeps going. It's like, okay. I mean... you had the same sort of story at Brother Bear. Don't you do this?
I thought it was charming.
It was still a good movie. And I looked past that and still enjoyed the movie.
But Brave gets a lot of shit.
It does.
A lot of people didn't like it. Yeah. I don't know.
What else?
We got a possible...
Uh-oh.
This is weird. This is like out of left field, doesn't quite make sense story.
Uh-oh.
We got a possible Game of Thrones movie.
Yeah, there's been many different things said about that. Of course, the one with George R.R. Martin, and then I also read one, and I forgot to mention this when we were talking about it earlier, that's how they actually wanted to end this in the TV show as well. Like, after 2 seasons, do a big movie.
2 seasons?
Or something like that. It was like
they're
after
already
a season.
on season 4.
Yeah. Or they were doing, like, after a season, they wanted to do a big movie.
They're not even done with, like, book 3.
Yeah. Well,
and, and we've still got, So the point is, J.R.R. Martin, the author of the very successful, very currently popular book series known as A Song of Ice and Fire, A Song of Ice and Fire, that is the book series that Game of Thrones, the TV show, is based on.
Yep.
Pretty much, almost, with very few exceptions, directly copy and pasted. They don't do a lot of... They've been pretty true to the book. They haven't taken a whole lot of creative liberties, which is a good thing. And it's very popular. I love it. In fact, right now as I speak, Manuela and my roommate are watching season 3 they're rewatching it right now, and that's what I'll be doing when I get done here.
Yeah.
We're just gonna marathon the rest of season 3, so we're
caught up for season
like
4.
we've seen it already,
Yeah.
but refreshing ourselves.
When
so
is the
we're
premiere?
April 6th.
That's it.
Because it's my birthday present.
Oh, look at that! They do it just for you.
Just for me.
Just for you.
Season 4 premiere.
Oh yeah.
I don't actually have HBO, so I can't watch it.
Of course, yeah.
I always have to watch it the very next day.
Yeah.
On the interwebs.
Yeah.
So it's an excellent show. It's got a huge fan base. This is weird. J.R.R. Martin has written 4 books so far. A Game of Thrones, Clash of Kings, Storm of Swords, and Feast for Crows. Those are the 4 books so far.
Mm.
I'm missing one. There's a 5th book that's already out. I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're telling me I want to get into the series, but I don't want to watch the show until I read the books. That's my problem.
Yeah.
And I know, like, it doesn't really matter kind of thing, but I do.
Yes, there are 5 books. So I don't know which one I'm missing. I think it might be Song of Dragons, but I'm not sure about that. Anyway, the point is, there are 5 books right now. The show is entering season 4, which is the second half of book 3. So it's going to be a while before they catch up.
Of course, yeah.
But they're catching up. Now, if you don't know Martin...
If you don't know
If you don't know Georgie...
Old Georgie.
He has confirmed the story is not going to finish until book 7. There's going to be 6 and 7. A lot of people are like, oh, well, I can't wait to read book 6. You might be waiting a while. Because he's been writing these books since, like, the 90s, early 90s.
Mm.
It's about 8 years between each book. And book 5 came out, like, a year ago. He got about 7 years before book 6. And another 8 years before book 7.
Mm.
And, with all due respect, he's not a spring chicken.
Oh my gosh.
He's really, really up there in the age category.
Oh wow.
And
the category for today is age.
He's not very young. I don't think he's got any real problems health-wise. I think he's healthy, but he's very old. And a lot of people, including the people that work on the Game of Thrones show, are they're trying to be careful with this. They don't want to make the show so fast that they catch up to them, and we're like, okay, well, we finished season 7 of Game of Thrones, but we can't go forward because you haven't released the next book. They're afraid of that happening.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's that fear of, if he takes so long to write the books, he's going to pass away before he finishes.
Yeah.
Now, Martin has already told the people who write and direct Game of Thrones the ending to Game of Thrones. He's already told them the key bullet points of these are the important things that are going to happen in book 6. These are the important things I want to happen in book 7. Well, obviously leaving out a whole lot of details. Yeah. But he gives them the bullet points so that in the event of his death, they can try and fill in the blanks. Which I think is pretty cool of him.
It is very cool.
That's pretty cool of him.
I wish they did that with Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and such. I do.
Is that...
That's an unfinished trilogy. Well, I mean, it's a trilogy, but it's an unfinished series.
Did the author of that pass away?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, after the third one.
Is the third one like a cliffhanger? That's unfortunate. Mm-hmm. That would eat me alive.
They're trying to get the notes and such for the 4th book. But I can't remember, and here goes my memory failing. I think there was supposed to actually be 5 books. 4 or 5 books. But yeah, that's one other thing.
Yeah, but
and it sucks.
Going back to this possible movie, Martin is quoted as saying, if I can find it in this big paragraph, the books get bigger and bigger in scope. It might need a feature to tie things up, something with a feature budget, like $100 million or two, or $100 million for 2 hours. These dragons get real big, you know. End quote. Which I guess he makes a fair point. HBO has a huge budget for the show. It's excellent. They have great effects. It's absolutely amazing. But having said that, a feature film would have more money to spend on CGI. And, they can't cut too many corners. Eventually, they're going to have to show... Now, again, I haven't read the books myself, so I don't know if this is going to happen, but the way the show's going, I'm pretty sure that eventually Daenerys is going to make it to the mainland with her dragons. They're going to be full grown, and she's going to be burning fucking cities to the ground.
Yeah.
That's what the show is building up to, and if that happens, they're going to need a better budget. They can't cut the corner and just not show those scenes, because in the show, as close to perfect as it is, they don't show battles. If it's just a person sword fighting or something like that, whatever, they'll film it. But the full scale battles between two armies, they show the armies like running. Or they show a character yell "charge" and then it fades to black, and then the next episode starts and it's just like the aftermath.
Ah, got it. So The Sopranos ending.
Who
went through that door?
But they have a limited budget and they can't waste it filming
battles and
big battles and stuff.
I mean, that's what Spartacus is for on Showtime. If you want big battles.
So,
anyways.
But they're not going to be able to pull that off when they bring the dragons in to burn the city down. You can't just show the dragons roar and then the next scene the next episode is just ashes.
Yeah. No,
you gotta show it.
Yeah.
But what do you think about, I know you haven't seen the show, but what do you think about a movie to, I assume the idea is to tie the series together at the end?
Yeah. I don't know. And for me, I guess it wouldn't really matter in this type of situation. But I feel like when shows try to do that, they sort of fall under a strange sort of normally we only have an hour. We have an hour for a show, which we could tell a lot of detail in. And then, of course, you have your whole season of 13 different episodes or more.
Yeah,
and that's 13
Game of Thrones,
15 episodes.
Each season of Game of Thrones is 10-hour-long episodes.
So you have 10 hours.
10-hours. Long episodes.
Yes.
These episodes are 10 hours long.
Yes. These episodes. But no, and that doesn't translate, for me, that doesn't translate well when it comes to
Well,
films.
I hope that if this is a thing, it's just like the last episode of the whole series is the 2-hour-long movie.
And that would be cool.
I guess that'd be more okay.
Yeah.
When I first read this article and stuff about this, I was assuming that they meant just switch to movies.
Yeah.
And season 5,
Sorry.
I'm serious. I thought it was
I thought about so now we'll be getting 5 2-hour-long movies.
But
anyways,
instead of filming season 5 or season 6 that would tell the whole story of that book, that they try to tell that whole book in a 2-hour-long movie.
Yeah.
Which, no way. There's no way you could tell a Game of Thrones story in a movie.
Not at all.
You got 7 different stories happening at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah.
With 30 different main characters. Mm-hmm. Not even side characters. You got 30 main characters. There's no way you could do that.
Well, see, and that's another drawback when it comes to a big feature film, because now you got to figure out a different format, because it can't be the same format as the show. I mean, Serenity got away with that type of formatting for.
Yeah, and that's only because 10 people saw it.
Yeah, when it came to theaters, when it came out, everybody wanted to see it, kind of thing. But there's that.
I'm sorry.
I know.
Make some real bad jokes about that fan base.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'll spare you guys this time.
It's okay. It's okay.
Keep going.
Okay. But then you have other shows that want to do big movies, like, and I was mentioning this to you earlier, 24.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole premise of that is hour-long episodes. They take place in real time. How are you going to translate 24 into a 2-hour-long movie? You can't. You can, but literally it would have to be multiple movies over the course of who knows fuck long to try and wrap it all up. And it's dumb. You shouldn't do it. I mean, for production value and to get that sort of glamour of a movie, sure, yeah, but you could be sacrificing crucial story elements that you would normally get from the show, and it just won't translate well to screen. And that's what I'm kind of afraid of when it comes to that show. Granted, like I've mentioned again, I have not seen the show because I want to read the books before I read the show, or before I read the show, before I watch it. Yeah, go ahead.
Interject
yeah,
here
you
for
can.
a second?
Yeah.
I've read these articles several times. I'm just now noticing they don't have plans to do this.
Yeah, no.
This is just Martin spouting shit.
Yeah.
Saying, like, hey, wouldn't it be cool?
Yeah.
That nobody's even considered this, and everybody's just like, what the hell is he talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Even HBO has thought about that, too, but they haven't, like, said this is going to happen, but they've thought about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. But yeah, no, I knew what you meant when you were talking about
however they decide to do it via, whether it be movies or TV show or whatever.
Yeah.
I just sincerely hope that man finishes his next 2 books.
Yes.
Because, seriously,
and also,
takes forever.
I was looking it up about the Millennium series, which is what the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and all that is called. It's called the Millennium series. They are actually releasing the 4th book.
Oh, cool.
Next year in August.
Interesting. How did they pull that off?
They have somebody else. Because he was 3/4 of the way done with the 4th book when he died.
Yeah.
And they had like notes from that and all that.
Sudden tone shift, 3/4 of the way through.
Oh my gosh, it would be so strange. That would be such
3/4 of the way through. Suddenly clowns.
Yeah. So 3/4 of the way through, it goes exactly how Stephen King went from The Shining to Dr. Sleep, and suddenly it has vampires in it. Or so I've been, like, if I remember.
That's a reference I don't understand.
No, that's literally is happening in the sequel to The Shining, his book, The Shining. Yeah. The sequel called Dr. Sleep that came out. It's supernatural and all this other stuff. So it's like, how did you go from The Shining to this? And it doesn't matter. But, whatever. Anyways, let's move on. We're hitting an hour 22 right now.
An hour 22? All right,
yeah.
we can bust this out.
We can bust this out.
We can rub one out.
Yep. Yeah, if you got to rub a nickel to get a dime. That's a masturbation reference, if anybody
Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters reboot.
Yep.
I think they said they're going to start that in 2015.
Production begins in 2015.
Ghostbusters reboot.
Yep.
Yeah, what do you think about that? I was never a Ghostbusters fan.
Really?
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But it's not something in my collection.
Mm.
I've just seen them each like one time and been like, eh.
Yeah. That was one of my like lovable type movies when I was younger. When I was getting
a lot of people love it. I have a lot of respect for it.
And it was during the time when I was getting into horror. And so
that's an easy intro for a kid.
Yeah. Other than, how it actually happened when I watched Child's Play. And then that was bad. And then I watched Night of the Living Dead, then I loved it.
I believe my first experience with a horror movie, the memory is really fuzzy because I'm real bad with my memory. I can't remember a lot from before like 12.
Yeah, right.
I think at some point I might have hit my head or something. And I lost a lot.
I know a chandelier fell on mine, so that's why I get my dates mixed up. But anyway,
what?
That's a story for another day.
Okay. I'll let that one slide.
Oh, thank goodness.
But I do want to know more about that.
No problem.
Right. I do remember.
Maybe we have time at the end of the show.
I remember being. I had to have been like 3 or something. I was little, and I remember it was late at night. I walked from my bedroom to the kitchen, probably for water or something, and either my mom or my dad was in the living room on the couch watching a movie, and either I got my drink or I didn't or whatever. I do not think I was noticed. And as I was walking back to my room, I looked at the TV, and it was the Friday the 13th movie.
Oh my goodness.
Where I'm not good with these movies.
It's okay.
It's the one that's got the demon worm.
Okay. Is that Jason Goes to Hell?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's it.
I believe so. That seems
right. Yeah.
Because the cover of the movie is his mask, and it's got the worm coming out of the eye hole of the mask.
Was there flames behind it?
Yeah.
Like lots and lots of flames?
Yeah. Like
that's Jason Goes to Hell.
And it was the worm jumping into a guy's stomach and eating through him.
Yeah.
As a 3-year-old, I'm like, oh god.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That was my introduction to horror.
Gosh.
I didn't like it.
My first introduction to horror, and I feel like it was my first introduction to horror, and I always get these mixed up because I can't remember which one I watched first, but I feel like I accidentally watched Child's Play, but I know for a fact I fully sat down and watched Night of the Living Dead, because that one I always remember as a child watching, and I loved it. Mm-hmm. But my next door neighbor, he was my cousin, weird family relationship kind of thing. He had Child's Play. He sort of snuck it from his parents, and I sort of snuck into his room to watch it, and we were all watching it. And I have never been so frightened in my life. It's a story I tell many people because it's a story I almost burned down my house. Because after I watched that movie, I had like childhood dolls of I had Simba and Nala and Scooby-Doo, and I was really happy. Whatever, you know. I love those animals, and I love the movies, and I love the cartoons. And Scooby looked at me a weird way. Like I was asleep, I woke up, and that doll was facing me, and it looked at me a weird way. Ruby, Ruby, Ruby. And, that was weird. So, anyways, it was during. Don't do that. Oh God, I'm gonna sleep weird tonight. It's fucking over my bed. Oh God, damn it! Fuck.
Is that the Scooby-Doo doll? The one?
No, that's not the one. No,
okay.
No, I had these were Nala was normal size. Simba and Scooby were life size.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what frightened me. They were my size. And it was during the winter when I saw this, and the fireplace was going, and all of my dolls went straight into the fireplace. I shoved them in there. We had one of those old-timey fireplaces where you had to sort of if you put more in, you had to sort of vent it out a little bit. I didn't know that. Oh, boy. The whole house filled with smoke. My mother driving me what are you doing? What are you doing? And Dad's over there trying to put out, trying to fix everything.
She's shaking you, and you just say,
Anyways, roar is very hard here. Anyways, yeah.
Hold on, before we go back to Ghostbusters.
Yeah, sorry.
And we'll talk more about this in the What to Watch thing.
Yeah.
I saw the sequel, direct-to-DVD sequel thing this past week of the Child's Play movie.
Oh,
Curse of Chucky.
Curse of Chucky.
I saw it.
Yeah. Well, I watched it too, so it's not a spoiler for me, but... Well, I guess we'll get into that later.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's one of the movies to talk about.
I'm sorry, I was about to go into this huge thing about it.
So, I thought it was funny that you brought up that movie because
of that.
That's one of the things I saw was the new sequel.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that later.
So Ghostbusters, what do you think?
Good?
Good idea?
I'm yes and no about that they're finally moving along with it. It had to be after, of course, Harold Ramis passed away. But, that's always been something in weird production, and people wanted to do it, one person or whatever happens, they don't want to do it, and then it just got stuck in limbo.
Yeah, it's almost like the Spider-Man sequels, where they had Spider-Man 3, and they wanted to make a sequel, and they got back this guy who wanted to do it, and this person wanted to do it, but then this person didn't. Mm-hmm. And then this person didn't, and then this person wants to do it again, and etc. It just goes back and forth until it just eventually screw it, remake it.
Yep.
Reboot it.
It's gonna happen. So, that's cool. What do you feel about it?
Like I said before, I'm not a big fan of Ghostbusters. I don't have a problem with it. I just, not my thing.
Yeah.
And I have just as much interest in a reboot as I would a sequel.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I hope it does well.
Sure.
We'll just have to wait for a trailer. Probably coming out in 2016, probably around Christmas time. I wouldn't put it past it.
Yeah. Mystery Ridley Scott film.
Prometheus 2. I'm sorry, Engineers.
I find this really interesting that this bit of news came out right after we did the episode where I bitched about Prometheus for like 30 minutes.
I also found it interesting what it was tied with when it came out as news. Because it was tied with Taken 3. It was like Taken 3, 2016. Mystery Ridley Scott film, 2017. It's like, that's two strange mixtures, but whatever.
Yes, so Ridley Scott, he's got a mystery movie on the way.
Yep.
And let's be honest, it's going to be one of two things. It's going to be Prometheus 2.
Yep.
Or it's going to be Blade Runner 2.
Yep. Or just a Blade Runner reboot. Wasn't there a reboot in talks as
Possibly.
well? But I can't remember which. I mean, that's really all he can do.
One of these things is not like the other.
One of these things is most applicable in this situation.
One of these things is not going to work.
Yeah.
Blade Runner sequel/reboot, I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Prometheus sequel, I have no interest in.
Yeah.
Sorry, you screwed up.
I want to have interest in it. I want to, but I don't know if it'll happen. I don't even know what it'd be called. It couldn't be called Prometheus 2. It'd have to be called something else. But anyways, doesn't matter. It's probably not it.
I mean, there's not much to say about this. It's just this guy's going to make a movie.
Yep.
It's coming out 2017.
Yep.
We'll see.
Watch it be a romantic comedy.
Be better than Prometheus 2. It's actually a romantic comedy about the alien and the predator.
Aww. Instead of called Alien versus Predator, it's called Alien and Predator. With a heart around it. Arrow going through, like Cupid. Cupid's actually Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm sorry. I'm stopping.
I'm picturing the alien lifting its champagne glass and seeing a ring in the bottom.
I was not prepared for that noise. Their kissing would be strange because Predator would open up its mouth like.
It's made for each other, really.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay.
Oh, my God.
Moving along. Last thing on the agenda. A Grudge reboot. What do you think?
Well, considering the company that's doing it, I think it's Ghost House. That's Oren Peli's company. Oren Peli, if you don't know, which you will know once I say two words, Paranormal Activity, there you go. That guy, his production company is doing the Grudge remake. The Grudge
is already a remake.
Yeah. It's still getting more sequels in Japan where it's more popular.
Yeah.
Here, no one actually cares anymore. Not even Sarah Michelle Gellar cares. And she didn't probably even care when she went into the movie.
This is a reboot of an American remake.
Yes. A reboot of an American remake of a Japanese film that has 7 sequels already, or 6 or 7 sequels already.
That's like copy and pasting something in Google Translator and translating it in like 4 or 5 different languages and then sending it back to the original, and it's just fucking mess.
Looks like we have our script, guys, for Prometheus 2.
Whoa! I like that.
Thanks. I like the whoa.
So, here's a little fun fact.
I like fun facts.
Horror movies don't do anything for me.
It's cool.
Like, slasher movies,
Yeah.
monster movies, nothing.
Yeah.
Little ghost girls, shit.
It's freaky.
Like, it's one of those things that, like, I'm a fucking adult.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
I'm not, quote unquote, afraid
Yeah.
of a movie.
Yeah.
It's something that I can watch by myself in the dark. You know, like, it's not a
you
big
can
deal.
do it. Yeah.
Thanks.
I believe in you. You can do it.
But But when the scenes get a little tense and you know something's going to happen,
yeah,
I always have this feeling of like I need to look away for whatever reason. Like I glance down at my feet or something like that because I know that something's going to jump out.
Yeah.
And for whatever, like those jump scares with ghost girls and stuff tend to be a little less jumpy.
Yeah.
If I'm not looking at the TV.
Yeah.
So a lot of times with these ghost girl movies, little ghost girls standing in a hallway with their hair down or something like that, I have to kind of look away for a few seconds before I look back. I gotta I don't know, get my bearings or something.
Yeah.
Something about it. Don't know what it is, but
I could tell you easily that there's always one cliched jump scare that will always scare me, no matter what.
Is it ghost girl grabs the forearm of the main character?
No.
Oh,
it's
that seems to happen a lot.
Yeah, it does happen a lot, actually. It's no matter what, I don't give a shit where you are in the dark. You have a flashlight, you're looking around, and it gets quiet, and then they look over at one thing, and it's not there, and then they look back to somewhere they've already looked, and it's like right here.
Yeah.
And by right here, I know you can't see.
And then the music is suddenly...
Because even the fucking orchestra was frightened out their shit. So
like,
oh, shit!
The dude's got the movie in front of him as he's like...
Yeah.
They're all playing their instruments, and then just that shit happens. It's just... Yeah. Guys, that's an accident. It's everybody...
Oh my goodness, have we created that now? Did we as people create this?
Yeah.
Now we've explained horror movies just now, guys.
Yeah, whenever there's a jump scare and the music, like the violin, the strings suddenly go...
Yeah.
It's because...
Do that noise again, please? That was more musical that time.
Well, they're instruments.
Yeah, they are.
It's because they fuck up and then they're like, oh, gotta get back into it.
Gotta get... Shit.
It's because the people...
for this.
They watch the movie on the big projector while they play the music.
Yeah.
That's how they put together the score. Yeah. They got the orchestra watching the movie, usually with no dialogue or anything.
It's usually not.
And so they could properly time their music with it and stuff. And then the thing happens, jump scare, and everybody playing instruments are just...
They're getting that stuff.
So playing a flute.
Guy playing drum. Oh shit! Just flailing his arms around.
Certainly explains a lot.
You know what? I have a new sudden respect for them.
Wow, guys, you got it bad.
Yeah. Jeez.
Right. So anyway, what do you think about it? Yes, no?
If it comes out in October, I'll more than likely probably go see it.
Right.
I mean, that's how I am with horror movies. They're my guilty pleasure in the sense that I love them. And I'll watch it. I've watched every Paranormal Activity movie in theaters. I've watched every Saw movie in theaters. I'll probably watch The Grudge in theaters. The reboot, at least.
Right.
So,
whatever. Right. Well, that's about it for the story.
Yeah, I think we've had a lot of stories for today to talk about.
So, out recently, we had the Muppets.
Yeah.
Muppets Take Over Europe. Yeah. Is that what it was called? Muppet Caper? Muppet?
Last week we also had, since we weren't here last week, we might as well talk about that. We had Need for Speed and Mr. Peabody.
Oh, it was Muppets Most Wanted.
Yeah, Muppets Most Wanted. I saw Need for Speed, which I'm going to talk about in the What'd You Watch, actually.
Oh, yeah, go for it. I haven't seen it. I've heard it's bad.
I could say good. I could say good and bad things about it, but
I look forward to hearing your thoughts. I do want to see Muppets Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Because I'm a Muppet fan. Manuela doesn't understand.
Parents just don't understand.
You just don't understand.
Dog slam door, walk out, eggs tip Fedora.
Daddy, I fucking love him. Holding a Kermit the Frog doll.
You won't understand our love. Ribbit.
All right.
Anyways.
I do want to see Muppets Most Wanted because I'm a Muppet guy.
Yep.
Literally.
Oh, God.
I'm a Muppet. You guys can't tell, but...
That's where that arm was going. Been wondering this entire time.
That was... Divergent.
The next installment of every young adult fiction novel.
Yep.
Movie adaptation. I should have added to the end of that.
Not doing very good.
I wouldn't be surprised. it's literally, I'm getting tired of the trend of all these young adult fiction movies coming to screen because they're following the same sort of thing where we have to watch yet another annoying training sequence to go into yet another dystopian world.
You know what?
Yeah, go ahead.
All these like young adult novels,
Yeah,
mostly geared towards women, that are coming out onto the big screen and stuff. I will say that when I first went to see Hunger Games, I thought it was going to be just like all the other ones, and it's just this girl who gets thrown into this horrible, crazy world of fantasy and whatever,
fiction,
and she finds
futuristic
love
in a hopeless place.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
like,
I tried not to say it. I tried so hard.
I thought that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Hunger Games is so much better and deeper and nothing like that.
Oh, I'm sure.
I am actually a big Hunger Games fan now.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, that's why these movies like Divergent are coming out, because they want to be that next Hunger Games for whatever studio. I can't even remember what studio Divergent's with, but that studio wants that sort of franchise under their belt to keep.
And I don't know the first thing about Divergent.
It's
I have no idea what it is.
And this is...
Oh, it's Lionsgate.
Yeah. Oh, it is Lionsgate?
Yeah.
Well, they already have the Hunger Games. What do they need another? Whatever.
Why not have both?
Why not? But well, I mean, they also have.
Talking about
they've
movie
actually
studio.
no. Lionsgate always. They're the ones that have like basically all of the young adult fiction. Because
Twilight.
Yeah, Lionsgate has Twilight. Lionsgate has.
Well,
except for Vampire Academy. I mean that, or is that Lionsgate? I don't even remember. But oh shit! Now I forgot what I was going to say. That well.
Who cares about this movie?
Oh, that's right. What the movie is, apparently. Like, from my very quick, like, 5-minute, or really wasn't 5 minutes, it was like 2-minute speed talk introduction to this movie. Apparently, in this world, you're given a choice of what your job, or you're not given a choice. You take a test, and it tells you where you're going to be. And there are people who can take this test, and it won't tell them who they are, where their job is supposed to be. And those are divergent people. And you got the divergent. And apparently the government doesn't like those type of people that they can't place in certain job professions. So they want to get rid of them and kill them and whatever.
Okay, here's a little blurb about this movie that I have to read.
Go ahead.
Quote, I can't help comparing the movie studios that crank out these young adult fantasies to the evil organizations in the movies themselves. The ones that seek to control young minds and prevent them from thinking freely. Damn.
Well, I mean, and one of my best friends, Olivia, she points this out, and I always laugh when she does. Because, I mean, it's kind of true how the Hunger Games, they're selling makeup based on districts. When in the video game, when in the book, if I remember the way she explained it correctly, is like, they're always guzzying up, making these districts, nice looking. Well, like the people participating in it is sort of like this glamorous event.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of funny how, like, that also kind of happens with us. We're sort of selling off our districts in a way. It's interesting how much we're not really paying attention to marketing when things are going on like that. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm saying it all ass in stupid anyways. So,
have you ever heard of the YouTube account, the YouTube channel, Comic Book Girl 19?
Yes. I like her channel.
I really like her.
Yeah, she's a really great person.
If you guys haven't seen Comic Book Girl 19's YouTube channel, go check her out. She talks about a whole bunch of movies and comic books and stuff.
I actually loved her two-parter on Prometheus, actually. If you ever saw it.
I know I have. I don't remember it.
I don't remember it, but I loved it. It was she's
I
amazing.
keep up with her. And I believe her most recent video, was a 45-minute long review, dissection, and analyzation of the Hunger Games.
Oh, wow.
As a series,
Yeah.
as a franchise and stuff. Not just talk, and it wasn't necessarily about
the movies or the
wow,
books.
these actors are really good, and this part of the movie was really cool.
Oh, you mean like everybody else talks about?
Yeah, it's not like a review of the movie as much as a dissection of, this is what it's about, this is what it means, this is why it's relevant to you.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like, she goes...
Way.
She really put some effort into it, and she
love
talks about how
watching
it's like a parallel to us and
Yeah.
how everything works, and it's great. So if you haven't seen it, check that out.
And that's one thing I feel like even even books like Divergent probably don't even hit on, because they're trying so hard to try and mimic the Hunger Games in the form of popularity and such as of now. I mean, honestly, I remember when I worked at Grove Park Inn, and I would see Hunger Games books all over there, and not a single person would buy them. Not a single person would even question it, look at the back of the book, or whatever. And then I read once when the movie was announced for the Hunger Games, and then people I'd see like look at the book, whatever, and then put it back. First movie comes out, sold out all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I think that's hilarious. I think that is so hilarious how that always happens. But whatever. Doesn't matter. People do what they do.
So those were things.
Yeah, those were our story pool.
And
here's a towel.
That was out recently.
Oh, that was
That's
out
what we just
recently.
did.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Damn.
Get it together.
Get your shit together.
Coming soon, March 28th, we've got Noah.
Yep. Also, The Raid 2.
The Raid 2.
Yeah.
Which,
it's not coming to, like, it's a limited release movie.
Yeah.
But I'm extremely excited.
Hey, Rotten Tomatoes has given it a 96 right now.
Guess what I'm going to go see when I have monies, whenever I
mean,
figure out where
it's
it's
probably
going to
it's still 6 days away, so
Yeah.
it's probably just going to go down from there. But,
Yeah,
you know,
I hope
whatever.
not. I hope not. I hope it stays up. It probably go. I give that movie probably. I probably think it'll probably get a 88%. I stutter a lot when I talk, man. I notice this a lot. Anyways.
Well, we all have our strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, isn't it? Isn't it true?
So,
anyways, so moving on.
Soapbox.
Soapbox. Let's make this a quick soapbox.
Okay.
I'm going to do what I can to make mine quick.
My
Actually,
soapbox,
do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
My soapbox this week is talking about my favorite movie of all time.
Okay.
And I am going to defend it.
I'm going to defend it. It's fine.
And, you know, it's just my opinion.
Okay, go on.
I'm in the minority.
No, you're not.
Not only...
I am.
Ha ha! Racial jokes. Racials.
I'm sorry, I'm making this long. Please continue.
So I am certainly in the minority. I really like the movie Tron Legacy. Kind of panned a lot. More than a lot. The majority of people did not like Tron Legacy. Not only did I like it, it is my favorite movie of all time. Tron Legacy is everything I could want from a movie and more. And sometimes I wish I was Tron. Okay, maybe not. But, oh god, Jeffrey, don't choke.
We're good.
Okay. I thought you were going to spit that out.
Oh god, no.
Across the table at me.
Oh god, no.
No, Tron Legacy is my favorite movie of all time. I love the music and the effects and the... You know what? The story is so simple, and people bash the story all the time. People say that the Tron Legacy story sucked. And I don't know why, because I compare it to Star Wars. I would compare Tron to Star Wars in a lot of ways, both in theme and tone and story. That it's not the most complex, complicated story of all time, but it's about a kid who doesn't belong in this world, or, you know, he's got his own set thing, wants to be something more, and he gets accidentally thrown into this new world with new characters and stuff like that.
Yeah. And,
you know, finding his father and stuff like that. I don't know. Yeah. It's like whenever I see this movie, I get a feeling when I see all the stuff with Sam and Jeff Bridges' character, Kevin Flynn.
Yeah.
like this father-son bonding thing that I think the two of them bonded in that movie. In the second half of that movie, they bonded more than most other movies I've ever seen between
I would
father
have to
and
agree
son.
with you, definitely.
And
yes.
like, I don't know, it's so hard to describe, but scenes of them talking to each other for like a couple seconds before having to go do something, whatever, touch me more than most serious films,
right?
Like dramas, and maybe I'm going to get a little too deep here. Deeper than I had originally intended.
Oh, well, let me get that shovel ready. Let's get that digging going.
But I can almost, like, in some ways, I can kind of compare myself to Sam Flynn in the, I can empathize with him, with his son, like this kind of father in the picture, kind of not at the same time. I mean, obviously mine didn't disappear into a fucking computer for 20 years. But due to complications within my family in the past, not actually having a father around a lot, and trying to make the most of what little bit that I get, and then ultimately losing him altogether. That is something that, like, I can see Flynn and be like, you know what, this guy got more out of his, 3 hours with his father than, I did, and I felt, like, happy for Flynn, you know, and his father, too, that they managed to make that connection. And, going back to just the plot of the film itself, this getting trapped in this world that you're not used to, and fighting the evil empire that's doing this and wants to destroy these guys, and, it's very Star Wars-y. You have the faceless soldiers and all the cool spaceships and stuff like that, the light fights and things. This is like the most fun movie I've ever seen, too.
Yeah.
Like, I've never had so much fun watching a movie. Like, the emotional impact aside, just freaking 10-minute scene of, like, racing on the light bikes and hitting each other with their laser beam tails and stuff. Like, it's like the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And freaking club scenes with Daft Punk and, like, all the different characters. Yeah. I don't know. Love it. Olivia Wilde, she's a cutie pie.
She's a cutie patootie.
And
Bringing
Jeff Bridges is my favorite actor, so that was bonus points. I'll admit that the first Tron movie, the original, the one in the 80s, which did not age well.
It did not. No,
it's not. I have it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it only because I like Tron Legacy. It's like, I like Tron Legacy so much that by default, I kind of like the first one, but it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
It doesn't hold up.
But, I love that they got all the people back from that first one. Jeff Bridges reprises his role.
And I think it really added to the whole movie itself.
Yeah.
I guess I'm one in the minority as well, because when I went to go see it in theaters, I loved it. Mm-hmm. I loved every moment of it. I thought it was a great movie. You actually surprised me when you told me that it was panned over and not many people liked it.
Oh yeah, it's hated.
I thought that was
people hate it.
Really one of the most surprising Disney movies, really, in a long time.
People still in a long time. The story sucks. It's weak. It's just like it's basically the same plot as Star Wars, and nobody shits on Star Wars for its plot. Nobody praises it for being crazy, amazing either. But nobody craps on it.
Yeah.
It kind of has the same twist at the end. The whole, oh my gosh. The bad guy is really my dad, whereas this one is, oh my gosh, the bad guy is really Tron the whole time. Yeah. And he redeems himself by saving Flynn's, both Flynn's.
The
Flynn's. And, it doesn't really break from any, crazy formula. It doesn't, whatever. But it was the most fun movie I'd ever seen. Yeah. Really pretty.
Gosh, it was.
I can't wait to I hope the third one makes it through.
I do too.
It's kind of shaky right now. They're trying their hardest to get that going.
I think really like when Tron Uprising came out, it really weirded out its chances.
I don't know. I did not want to give Tron Uprising a chance. If you don't know what Tron Uprising is, it's a Disney XD cartoon series it came out after Tron Legacy, but it was a prequel to Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
And it was about all of the programs, the people inside the computer, and how they're starting to be taken over by like the red guys, the army.
It also had the voice of Tron.
And the guy that did the voice of Tron in the movie
is Bruce Baxter, something like that.
Yeah,
Bruce something. It's Bruce something.
You know, in the beginning of Tron Legacy, the movie, the guy with the white hair, that's him. The old man in the first in the Tron Legacy movie that comes to Sam's garage apartment thing and talks to him about his dad and stuff and going to the arcade. That was Tron in the first movie. He played Tron. He also played the guy who built Tron, because that's the thing. Like, the characters in the movie build the programs that look like themselves. So they play both characters. And he came back to play the same character. And he did this. He was also Tron. And in the cartoon, he does the voice for Tron. I did not want to watch the cartoon when it was first coming out because of the art style. It really turned me off. It was weird, where the characters were like...
They were 2D, really, but in a 3D world kind of thing.
Just the proportions of their body was weird.
It was like overly stylized and like muscled out, and you could like see almost every ridge of their body in a weird way.
Very. I would describe it almost like what's Genji, or the guy who did Samurai Jack and Dexter's Lab. Genji.
I can't think of
his
his name.
It's something like that.
Something like No,
like
what you're talking about.
It was very similar to that.
Yeah.
Except added on some weirder body proportions.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to watch it just because of the art.
Yeah.
But eventually, I heard it was doing pretty good, and I sat down and watched it, and I marathoned the whole entire first season.
Wow. Has it been canceled?
It got canceled.
Yeah, I thought it got canceled.
And it was on a cliffhanger, so it sucks so bad. Because it was doing really good.
Yeah.
They had some interesting characters, some interesting plots.
They one person in general like completely threw me off that they got for a voice, and that's the guy who played Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
That was the most interesting voice.
Yeah, he plays one of the villains.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's like kind of the comic relief villain of the...
I'm sure.
He wants to prove himself, but he keeps failing, and in the end, it's sort of cliffhanger, but in the end, he totally becomes this ultimate badass and just starts wrecking house.
Wow.
And, puts together a scheme to, overthrow the guy he works for and stuff like that and be the real villain. But before that comes to fruition, the show ends. And Elijah Wood does the voice of the main character.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Whose name I don't remember, but it was the story was roughly about this program who didn't like his conditions and stuff, felt the oppression and all that stuff, and went and found Tron and trained with him to become the new. What was it called? You're the new. Basically the new Tron. You got to be the new Tron. And he took the identity of Tron. He was pretending to be Tron. To give people hope again and stuff like
Avatar?
that.
But would it be Avatar?
No, I don't think so. It was called something. I think they had a specific name for it.
I can't remember.
And it was cool.
Cool.
But that got canceled because Disney XD cannot keep a show for more than one season without...
That doesn't have people live action.
Yeah, apparently any cartoon does not... I don't know, because this is the only Disney cartoon I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But,
gosh. They don't last long. Unless they're really dumb
I know that they got Star Wars. They got the Clone Wars series, and as soon as they got it, they canceled it. They didn't even want that shit on their channel.
Disney's
crazy.
Disney doesn't know how to run their television portion, their television sector. Because, geez, whoever thought Dog with a Blog and Good Luck Charlie and all those other dumb shows is interesting, and then barely hangs on to Gravity Falls. That show, Gravity Falls is another amazing cartoon show on Disney. But, you know how that's going to end. Anyways, doesn't matter. Not part of this conversation. You're so
Yeah, well, anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Pretty much, the point is, Tron Legacy is my favorite movie of all time because it hits me on an emotional level about the father-son bonding thing. And it's just fucking cool because it's Daft Punk and this black, blue, neon green, neon blues, and stuff like that.
It's a pretty looking thing, but
it's such a cool setting.
Yeah.
And I love it. And if they make a sequel,
I'll be there.
I'm gonna be keeping up with that shit.
I'd even try to make a costume.
Oh yeah, I would. I would love to have a Tron costume.
I would
get the
get a high paying job just so that way I can get a light cycle. Show their midnight premiere.
Get the LED lights and those tube lights and stuff, and kind of
just line it
get them up the side of the suit.
But make it look so nice too.
Dude, I'd do it.
Classy ass suit too, like a full on tux kind of way, and then
put the lights on it. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be so bad. Damn. You better do your wedding.
Okay, wait. I this is kind of a side tangent, but that party we were talking about, hosted by the campus.
Yeah.
That's not a costume party again, is it?
This coming up? No, it's not.
No, it's not shit.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you can make it a costume party. It's just going to be a karaoke, BYOB barbecue. So I wouldn't really.
So I was going to say we should both. Next time there's a costume party, let's just both do that. Let's make matching.
Well, I mean, there's not going to be one at all this year. Yeah.
Halloween next year.
Yep.
Let's do it.
If I'm around here, hopefully.
You better be.
Oh, don't. Oh, yes.
We'll talk about that after.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway,
that's my soapbox. Please do yours quick.
All right, I'll do my quick because we're already over 2 hours. We're at 2 hours and 1 minute.
Oh God.
We have to come up with a secret word.
We got one.
Good.
I'm gonna share that with you right now.
Yeah.
The password of this week's episode is Inbetweenquel.
Oh, don't say it like that. Ooh.
Keep it going. All right.
My soapbox is why I do not like comedies and romantic comedies. I have a hard time getting into either. Honestly, I can't even find the only comedy I can think of in recent memory that I actually enjoyed is This Is the End. As dumb as that may have been.
That wasn't a romantic comedy.
No, I mean, I said comedies and romantic comedies. Yeah. I know. Yeah. I mostly hate romantic comedies because they follow the same thing and everybody gets all lovey-dovey about it. Actually, fun fact about Jeffrey. If I find interest in you and you say one of your favorite movies is The Notebook or P.S. I Love You, I mean...
P.S. I'm gone.
Exactly. P.S. I mean, it's been a nice talk and all, but I mean, I can't see you like that anymore. I mean, we'll be friends. We'll be friends. You're there. I even have a hard time actually liking Titanic. That's one of my most I just don't understand why movies of all time. I can see what's great about it and everything, but it's one movie that I can't watch the full way through without going, why don't you just take a scalpel to my eyes and all that shit. It's awful. It's weird. But romantic comedies have never sit well with me because I hate the whole idea of, these two people, or usually the way the movie starts, it's some girl has this really high up job, she's doing well and whatever, and then she runs it, she has bad luck with whatever guy and all this other stuff, and she has some little quirk that, she just can't get a date, and all of her friends are getting dates.
She has that fat, funny friend.
Yeah, it's always that. Yeah, it literally is in there too. It's that's in there. It's every little stupid thing that you can add, cliche, that's the word I'm looking for. Every little cliche you can put in a romantic comedy is always in there. And, she goes to like some coffee shop, knocks a bunch of shit down or something happens.
Spills something on some guy.
Yeah, and then she's like, oh, I'm sorry, let me clean that up. And then he's like, oh no, it's perfectly fine with his teeth whiter than the fucking, like, whitest thing that you could think of. I can't even think of anything. It's just teeth. Like it starts with the teeth, because it always just gets that, like bright white, like the fucking commercial toothpaste white. And then all of a sudden he has that sort of smile that's like, like he just cocks his head to the side like a dog that's confused and just looks at you. And it's just like, oh, he's so dreamy. It's always like some fucking dude.
There always has to be a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Also, as they start hanging out more and they start to date, stuff like that. Eventually, towards the end of the movie, there's a misunderstanding or miscommunication where she gets mad at him.
Yeah, we're like, I don't know, his fucking favorite color is orange, and hers is blue, and she's like, I fucking hate orange, so I don't like you anymore. And then,
but they complement each other.
Yeah, I know, right? They're like right on the opposite sides of the color wheel, and they actually complement each other really well. Anyways, that's also classwork going into my life. Yeah, but, that happens, and then she's like, I don't want to date anybody again, and I don't like anyone, and then they go through that, and then they start doing bad at their own job, and it becomes like, it's like before that everything was great until they met this one person that completely fucked up their life, and so now they feel like they can't live without that person, and then they go and get married, and this all happens in the span of a week. It's always within, like, just a couple of days that they finally say, this is my one true love without that much time spent with this person, other than like a few brief montages of them laughing over the course of a day at different places and running through sprinklers and I don't know, punching a baby or something dumb. It always happens like that. And it's one of the most unrealistic things that I cannot stand. And people are like, well, you like horror movies, that's unrealistic. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not in the sense of, oh no, I tripped and dropped my 100-page TPS report to this high-paying position I had, and some random person's helping me pick it up. Let me just fall in love with them, kind of thing. I've always hated that. I've always thought that was like so.
There's also the other cliche for romantic comedies is that the main female and the lead male don't like each other. Yeah. Or he likes her, but she thinks he's just annoying. Yeah. And the whole movie is like, stalker. Oh my god, this guy is so annoying. This guy is so annoying, but they end up together at the end.
Yeah, like, and it gets to the point where it's like almost stalkerish, because like either one of the characters will start like following them wherever they go, making their way to. Also, let's stop and think about this for a second. Either when it comes to that situation, the main character, literally, you never see them at their job again. They're always about that one person.
Well, it depends on the movie.
Yeah, it does depend on the movie, but a lot of times it's like they're not at their job anymore. They're not doing anything else except for thinking about, breathing about.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I have noticed a lot of romantic comedies. Well, once the two characters start to hang out with each other, they start dating or whatever. Yeah. They usually do either a montage or just a couple scenes of them just like walking around the park. Yeah. Going shopping or doing this and doing that, and they'll do like montage, and I'm thinking to myself, how the fuck do you have time for this?
Right? It's just like, where did you... and it's always like, before, they're like, oh god, I'm so busy, I have all this stuff, I have to go walk my dog, I have to go see my sick mother, I have to go and, take pictures at my best friend's bar mitzvah or some bullshit like that. And then all of a sudden,
your best friend is like a 12-year-old at his bar mitzvah. Yes.
That was such a bad example. Well, I don't know. It's kind of perfect because that's how romantic comedies work. And then it's just like, this one random person comes into their life, and it's just like everything's cleared off forever. And they have nothing to do.
I get up at 5:30 in the morning for work. Yeah. And I work forever. Yeah. I come home and I have things to do, bills to pay. Yeah. Errands to run, clothes to clean, dinner to buy or cook. Yeah. And then I see my girlfriend for like 2 hours before I gotta go to bed.
Exactly.
That's it.
And It's so unrealistic, and I
like,
can't stand that.
These people like get to. I guess they're putting in their PTO or something, so they can just walk around the park or the fair or something.
Yeah, they're like, oh, whatever. These are my vacation days that I'm going to spend with this stranger I don't even fucking know. Like, okay, go somewhere else. And now that's my rant about romantic comedies, why I can't stand them. I think that they're dumb.
They're highly cliche.
They are extremely highly cliche. There are good ones.
Exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say that. While it is I think out of all the genres of movies, including horror movies, I think romantic comedies have the most cliches.
They do, yes.
With horror movies behind that.
Yeah, it's extremely true. And behind that, action movies.
Yeah. Like, there are a lot of cliches in movies. Most of them are romantic comedies. But while that is the case, every now and then, there's one that's actually okay. Yeah. Or even better than okay. Yeah. And I actually say that my favorite romantic comedy that I actually really love is You Got Mail.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that one that much. I do remember that was
Tom
the
Hanks
time.
And Meg Ryan. Yeah. And I know I got to be more specific because they've made 3 or 4 romantic comedies together.
But yeah, that came out early 2000s, I believe, right?
I think it was like 90s? In the 90s. Late 90s.
Late 90s, early 2000s, somewhere around there.
But yeah, that was about, she owns like a really old, tiny bookstore on the street. That's just one of those things that's been around forever, and everybody loves them just because of how long they've been around, but they don't have a wide selection of stuff, and it's really tiny. And barely holding up together, you know? The only reason they don't get rid of it is because it's just like the family business or whatever. And then, 30 feet away from her, this huge, bit bigger than Barnes and Noble, business opens up. That's Tom Hanks' store, whatever it was called. Yeah. And it's just like this 3-story tall bookstore with a goddamn fountain in the middle of it, it's crazy, and it's just gonna run her into the ground. And he's just like, well, tough luck, because sorry, that's how business works. And he's just less kind of cold, whatever. And then he goes into her bookstore to kind of like snoop around and spy on her and stuff. And like, I don't know, what was the thing? She gets into an online relationship.
I don't even remember.
The thing was like she was looking for someone online, or he was looking for someone online. They find each other and they start dating each other, and he knows who she is, but she doesn't realize that he's the guy that owns the bookstore that's running her into the ground. And that happens.
Like when people when I was first described this movie. I was told that, and it's the 2 movies that I actually like when it comes to romantic comedies. I was told that fucking Mean Girls and Easy A were romantic comedies when I was first going to watch them. And they're not really. They're not romantic comedies, if I remember correctly. They're not romantic comedies. But those 2 are really the only movies in that subgenre. Or genre, or whatever.
Mean Girls was in the basket the other day for $5 movies.
Oh man, if you got that for me, I would have been like, I'm fucking set.
No, I didn't buy it for you because we had to buy each other shitty movies.
Yeah, exactly. Because Mean Girls is I love that.
Mean Girls is actually an objectively good movie.
It really is, and I mean that's one of those movies that people are like, I've just always enjoyed. It's hard for me to really like any others. I was actually just now looking through the romantic comedies list on fucking Netflix, and there's not really one. There's one I haven't seen yet that's Chasing Amy that everybody goes on and on about. But oh gosh, what was the name of it? Now I remember another romantic comedy, which was like an indie romantic comedy, which was really fucking cool. Oh gosh,
Warm Bodies.
Oh fucking. Whatever, that movie, fucking whatever. Because it was on Netflix, and it was. She made it specifically that she was Asian, like that's the thing of it was. It was and it was just a romantic movie about her trying to figure out. It was a romantic comedy about her trying to figure out who her baby daddy is. Because she was knocked up, and she had like this huge list of different pictures and names of people that she had slept with, and she was going through each one of them, and then she met one person that she liked, and then it was this huge thing with that. But it was really funny. That was a really good romantic comedy because it had good humor and it wasn't like some classic run-of-the-mill romantic comedy. And there are very few great ones.
Yeah.
And just regular comedies, I just can't laugh at anymore. Even the rated R ones, like Hangover, Identity Theft, which was for some reason popular, Horrible Bosses. I can't get through I get so annoyed with it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, Horrible Bosses had some good funny points to it. But at the same time, it was just like...
This Is the End was, like...
Yeah.
The last good one.
It really was. And
there's a girl at work that was saying the other day that she hates it. She thought it was stupid and not funny, and I just
I
punch her in the head.
Gosh. And the reason why I can't stand Horrible Bosses is because I can't stand super unrealistic situations. When there is an obvious way out. But, I mean, that's the comedy of it. In a way. You know, like when there is an obvious way of doing this, but that main character finds a way to fuck it up by doing something completely dumb with it, but it's not like dumb funny, it's just more like dumb for me.
Okay.
I know that. Yeah, but anyways, that's enough.
We need to get through.
Yes, we do.
This is the longest episode in a long time.
Yes, it is. And I'm sorry. We're all sorry. We talked a lot about it, Marvel again.
We have no more beer. The people are just sitting on our couch and they're
falling asleep.
They're falling asleep.
They're hating us.
Guys.
Let's wrap this up.
What's your Netflix recommendation, Jeff?
My Netflix recommendation, Clue, the movie. With Tim Curry and all the other fun stuff.
Awesome.
I love that movie.
I have not seen it.
It's on Netflix. It's a great comedy. That's a great comedy and not video game adaptation, but it's a great game adaptation. Hasbro game adaptation. Better than Battleship. I said it. I'm not afraid. Get at me, people.
Well, okay then. Audience might kill you in the library with the candlestick. Yeah. Anyway, I would give you a Netflix recommendation, but the people that I mooch Netflix off of haven't paid their subscription fee, so I don't have Netflix.
The way you said that, I expected you to pull a Dingleberg there. And this is where I'd watch my Netflix. If I had one!
Jeffrey, if I had thought of that, I would have, but unfortunately, I fucked up. I dropped the ball.
It's alright, I fucked up many times tonight. Anyways.
And with that,
I
hope you guys enjoy listening to another episode of Unwind, Rewind.
Yes.
And we'll try to keep it weekly. We're sorry about last week.
And we'll try to, trim it down. We're sorry about ourselves.
We'll never do. No. It's too hard.
It's a running joke with us now. It's a running gag.
Oh my god.
Next week we'll get shorter. We get just get longer.
Oh my gosh. We can't get it under 2 hours. It's impossible. We even
is.
cut out the What'd You Watch segment for this show.
Oh my god, think of what we had that.
Oh my god, it'd be awful.
It would.
So, look forward to seeing this posted in the next day or two.
Yeah.
Although, if you hear me say this, it's because you're listening to it already, so that was pointless.
That Pepsi.
Look forward to a What'd You Watch special episode, though. Yeah, soon. Eventually. I'm not promising any dates on that.
Nope. I wouldn't.
Or its even existence. I might go back on my promise.
Hey man, we're just like Prometheus 2 and Cloverfield 2 and Ghostbusters 3. We're all myths, but we're out there. But we're all myths.
If you believe. You just have to believe.
Jeez, that was a bad joke. I'm sorry.
Anyway, and with that, I'm Nick.
I'm Jeffrey.
And
this is Computer. And have a great
day. Get the hell out of our house.
Yeah. Stop sleeping on my couch. Good night.
And get your shoes off the couch too. God damn.
Jesus Christ, have some decency, you fucking animal.